Welcome back to the Angry Man Podcast with Jason and Greg. So, Jay, before we jump into this video, I would like to let everyone know that we will be live today. Life has been lifing over the last month or so with just things that have been, we've both had to do for family and otherwise. And I've gotten over the last hurdle yesterday with my daughter. We had our graduation party. We have launched her. She is a proud graduate from the University of Alabama, Birmingham, with her nursing degree. So congratulations, Ashley. And we'll have that live today, somewhere between the 5 and 6 o'clock hour. So guys, be on the lookout for that. Now, we had plenty of boxing action this past weekend. Most of it was ass, but we will talk about it regardless. Now, there's a couple of topics that came out of the action this past weekend, and we're going to do videos on multiple topics that have just popped into our minds. But the one that we're going to start with today is Terence Crawford and him jumping in the ring to face off with Canelo Alvarez after Canelo Alvarez was victorious in a lackluster performance against Skull. Now, I saw some people ask me in the comment section of other videos, what did I think of the performance of Canelo Alvarez? I was not impressed. Canelo did not look good at all. Some of it was the opponent and the style of the opponent, but Canelo simply didn't look good. He looked flat-footed, looked like he had concrete. Huh?
Cut the ring off.
Yeah, looked like he had concrete in his feet, and he didn't look good. Terence Crawford got in that ring. Shout out to ASVP TV for posting it in the Discord, and he looked absolutely massive to me. In comparison to Canelo Alvarez, we have a picture posted here. You can see him in the face-off from front to back. Terence Crawford looks bigger than Canelo Alvarez to me. Now, we know he has an advantage in terms of length. We know length of arms. We know he has an advantage slightly in terms of his height. So Terence Crawford has been stating this for multiple weeks now, that he is actually bigger than Canelo Alvarez. Now, I think he has a number of advantages going into a fight with Canelo Alvarez, and we're going to talk about some of those advantages in some videos that we're probably going to record later today, Jay. But it may not be exactly what you guys think. But this is one that I had not really thought about, Terence Crawford having the size advantage going into the ring. But, Jay, I'm here to let you all know, and some of you are probably going to say that this is all hate, and that's fair game because you guys think that I hate Terence Crawford, and maybe you're right. But at the end of the day, Terence Crawford looking this massive at this point in time, like literally looking bigger than Canelo Alvarez. And Canelo had to have come into this fight at 185. I mean, he's fighting at 168. I would imagine he rehydrates 15 pounds or so. So I'm thinking he's in the mid 180s, 183 to 185. Terence Crawford had to be in that ring at 190. He's only 5'8" or so. And if you look at Terence Crawford's legs, they are relatively skinny. So most of this weight he's carrying in his upper body. Jay, I know you're a physical trainer, and I can't wait to hear, or at least you were a past physical trainer, so I can't wait to hear your thoughts on this. But I think he's carrying way too much weight in his upper body. I think it's going to weigh him down. I think a lot of people believe that Terence Crawford has an advantage in terms of his ability to move around the ring, and I think that's what people believe he'll be able to execute on the night of the fight, which coincidentally is going to be on a Friday, which doesn't really feel like a big fight, but I digress. They believe that Terence Crawford is going to have the ability to move around the ring and give Canelo Alvarez problems with his movement. Now, Terence Crawford hasn't demonstrated that since his first fight at 147 pounds, but yet with all this added mass, they believe that somehow he's going to maintain the same amount of speed, reflexes, timing with this added weight and not slow down and not have conditioning issues with this mass. I think it's a mistake. I think he's actually moving himself or reducing the probability that he wins. My personal opinion. I will tell you all this. If Terence Crawford comes to the ring at 168 pounds or on fight night, anything above that, rehydrating, and he looks like the same Terence Crawford that I saw at 154, meaning there is no impact to his reaction time, there's no impact to his speed, his conditioning, nothing. He's moving around the ring like he's a 140-pounder. I'd have to question that seriously. It doesn't work like that. It never has. It never will. And that would be a telltale sign for me. So I don't I don't play those games. We have never played those games on this channel, but that would make absolutely no sense to me at all. Terence Crawford, my expectation would be he would need to be more stationary and just counterpunching from that position. Jay, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. Hopefully, he's not at what I've seen pictures of people posting like weight. I don't know if it was fake AI or whatever, but he was like around like 190 something. It's one thing to be walking around at, but one thing about Bud, people always said about Bud, he stays in shape. He stays in the gym. I don't think if he's at 180 right now, 190 right now, is fat or anything like that. But to your point, him carrying around extra weight, I don't think that's going to be the best thing for him. To me, it was never about him just completely being outweighed in the fight. It's about him fighting someone that's normally fighting guys that are heavier actually in a fight, in a boxing match, not sparring, but actually in a boxing match. Canelo's used to getting hit by bigger guys. I like Triple G, for instance. He took some shots from that. Granted, it was some years back, but he still took those shots. I don't think Crawford has the same type of punching power. I think Crawford is going to be about punch placement. And I think Crawford needs more time to get settled in at the weight class to see how he looks against others. Because this fight, people forget about how he looked against Majimov. He wasn't just rocking Majimov, pushing him back all over the place at will. He was getting caught sometimes as well. We know Canelo hasn't had a knockout since he stopped Caleb Plant, but he's knocked every opponent down in every fight since then, except for this weekend in Skull. And Skull was just on his fight. So, but it's not the most fleet of foot any longer. He's 37, y'all. I know some people think he walks on water and all this stuff, can jump over tall buildings and run a locomotive, but he's 37. Father Time is undefeated, y'all. It's going to happen to everybody. So he looked bigger than Canelo in there, which I figure he's a taller guy. He's a longer guy, but we'll see how Canelo looks in that fight, and when they weigh in. So I think Canelo's going to be bigger that night, but coming in heavier, I don't think he should come in at 180 or hydrate, nothing like that. I think it'd be too much for him.
I think it'd be too much too. We just got to see what is
carrying around that weight, carrying around that extra weight actually in a fight of that magnitude with no time to get acclimated to it. We'll see. I just don't see it.
I don't see it happening in that way either. And I think he has a little bit of time to try to get acclimated to it, but not in a way that'll actually allow him to be successful in a fight. And like I said, if I see all of a sudden this guy's at 170 pounds on fight night and he's moving around, he's fleet of foot, he has punching power and the speed, and it hasn't affected his timing. And then we're talking about other people. That is odd. And that would be completely odd. We've never seen that before in the sport of boxing. It does not work like that.
So, yeah, and I think that's what he's going. I think he's going to need to be moving around to beat Canelo. Honestly, I don't think he's going to be able to do that. That's not even his style, really, to move around like that a lot, neither.
We'll see how it ends up working out. I guess I could foresee him being able to beat Canelo in certain ways without moving around, but he has to be able to take the power in order to do it. So there's no issue. I don't see an issue. He can't keep all of those attributes. Something has to diminish. That's my point. You guys let us know what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to hate, like, comment, and subscribe. This is the Angry Man Podcast, M Sports Media, and we are out.